everyone, KikiTheWitch here, and welcome to Libertad. A story about two females, can I say girl and woman, or two women, who are travelling to Libertad. One of them is a slave and one of them is a badass. Well, I think they're badass, on what I read on the homepage. I start this journey. The music already made it have so many feels and it already sounds sad. Just a little further. While breathing so hard that I thought I would collapse at any moment, I pushed myself to continue running straight ahead. My legs were about to give out, and my heartbeat was loud. I urgently needed to rest, but I knew I could afford no such luxury. I had come too far to give up now, and if I were caught at this point, I would surely be killed, if not worse. Quickly! After her! Don't let her escape! Yes, I know. Catch the little rat before she escapes. Oh, I'll make sure that little bitch gets what's coming to her. Oh my god, they're making me swear. Nobody escapes from my clutches that easily, and when I catch her... Shut up and focus, you idiot. She went through here. I continued to run as quickly as my legs would carry me. Though starving and sleep deprived, there was enough adrenaline pumping through my body for me to run far away from this dreadful city. Yeah, it does kind of look bad. I mean, look at that quality of the bricks. You can tell they're crumbling. And at that moment, that was exactly what I needed to do. If I could escape from the city and make my way to Libertad, then I could finally be free. Gotcha! Huh? All of my pursuers suddenly ran out in front of me. I turned around to flee in the opposite direction, but the moment I did, two more men stood in my way. Heh, like a fish in a barrel, huh? You did well to make it this far, little girl. Looking at you, nobody would ever suspect you had it in you to cut a guard's throat and loot his corpse. Oh, okay, she's badass. You have my praise, were it not a friend of mine whom you chose to slay. It's a pity. One of my pursuers began to advance on me. That sounded so wrong. No, please, no more. Oh, hush. Such a pitiful display does not suit a beauty such as yourself. If you quieten down, perhaps I'll reward you one last time, Wouldn't you like to enjoy your final moments of your life? Hell no! Get the back off! Stop! Keep your filthy hands off me! Yeah! She's a fire, I'll tell ya. Shut up and hold her down. I'm going first. No! Great through in the mood, you blubbering fools. But never mind. There's no romance to be had in the alley like this anyway. Now then, what do you say, girl? Care to take this easy and take your clothes off without a fuss? I'd like to keep it on. I cradled my torso in my arms as I backed up against the wall. I'd rather die. That can certainly be arranged. But first, you two stand back. I'm going to show this girl how to treat her owner right. Feminist, the most talkative of the three men, reached out and grabbed my wrist. I tried to pull away, but he was far too strong. And even if I did manage to break free, I was unarmed and surrounded. What happened to the knife that you slit someone's throat with? My bid for freedom was over. Why? Why does it have to be this way? Why must I continue to suffer while evil men like these are allowed to do as they please? If this world is truly so rotten, maybe I'll be better off. Don't ever think that. I closed my eyes as I rated the inevitable. If I was about to die anyway, there was no reason to struggle. One more moment of suffering and humiliation would make no difference. For better or worse, I had stilled my resolve and prepared myself for whatever might come next. Oh, that was a line. I slowly opened my eyes as the grip on my arm loosened. Accompanying the sound of something hitting the ground, the sight that awaited me was one of the unexpected yet welcomed carnage. Laying on the ground before me were the corpses of my pursuers. Heck yeah! Each laying in pools of their own blood, and fell without a sound. What on earth? Startled, my eyes darted around as I tried to make sense of the sight before me. 3 men had been killed in an instant, and standing beside their corpse was a woman? Armed with a sword and a shield, a strong woman, undoubtedly a warrior, glared at the 3 men fiercely. I could see no sign of sympathy or remorse in her eyes. To her, the 3 men she had just slain were nothing more than feral animals whom nobody would miss. And at that moment, I knew exactly what I needed to do. Please take me to Libertad. The woman removed her eyes from the corpse at her feet and glanced my way. Not even a word of thanks? My apologies. You have my deepest thanks for saving my life. Please, it may be rude of me to say this, but slaves are abound, and I don't know why my English went bad there. Stop right there. The woman thrust out her palm and gestured for me to stop. Do not misunderstand. I killed those 3 not because you required assistance, but merely on a whim. I am no paragon of justice. I do not help those in need without reason. Then I pulled out the gold coins I had stolen from the guard I killed during my initial escape. Here, take it all. It's all yours. In return, please take me to Libertad. The woman took the gold coins from me and briefly inspected them. They're blood money, just so you know. Seriously, they are. This is quite a sizable amount, far more than someone like you should be carrying. Still, I must end my involvement here. But why? As I said, my intervention was naught but a whim. This conversation is over. If you wish to reach Libertad, you'd best get going. I am hella gonna stalk you. Returning the gold coins to me, the woman turned around and began to walk away. You can't be serious. If that's how it's going to be, then why did you save me at all? Pardon? I would have been dead by now if you hadn't saved me. My suffering would have finally ended. I could have been free of this miserable life. Now, thanks to you, I'm still here living in fear of what I have no control over. If you won't help me, at least you could do is finish me off. What a farce. I just saved your life. Be grateful. Grateful for what? All you did was postpone the inevitable. More slavers will come. Oh, I will be caught again in no time. And I will be right back where I started. I could feel tears forming in the corners of my eyes. Looking down at the corpse beneath me, I felt a sense of both regret and envy. How stupid. I should have known I couldn't make it out alive. I thought that if I just kept running, all by myself, then maybe I could escape alone. I just did an ad-lib. It was good. But it's just not possible. Even if I escape from this city, I'll be captured again in no time. I returned my gaze to the woman in front of me. So take responsibility and kill me right now. And don't you dare run away. Finish what you started, you coward. Coward? Me? To claim that I am the one running away, you really do want me to kill you, don't you? Why? God's sake, crazy lady. But why? Through what logic have you reached these absurd conclusions? I saved you, therefore I must kill you. I intervened, therefore this is my responsibility? I don't understand you in the slightest. Despite her words, the woman readied her sword. Be that as it may, if death is truly what you wish for, then... Stopping mid-sentence, the warrior suddenly averted her gaze. She appeared to focus on something unseen, then quickly grabbed my hand and pulled me off to the side. Hey, what are you? Shh. With my mouth covered by my saviour's hand after she sheathed her sword, I silently watched as a few figures passed us by. Stopping only briefly to inspect their fallen comrades, the familiar faces of my captors quickly passed us by. Nods. I'm nodding, but you can't see it. Our accomplice nodded to the side, then led me by the hand without saying a word. Once we had escaped from the slums and reached a busy marketplace, my hand was released. You weren't kidding. Those slaves are more possessive than I thought. Girl, what's your name? Skipped it. My name? I am Ada. Ada, huh? Very well, Ada. My name is Martha, and henceforth I shall be accompanying you to Libertad. You will? But why? I thought you were against the idea. Confronted by her earlier assertion, Martha looked away. It's just a whim. All right. I won't press you for an answer. Well then, I guess I'll be in your care, Martha. I look up at my new companion with a smile on my face. Seeing that, Martha quickly walks off. Save it for when we arrive at Libertad. After purchasing provision from our journey, and a cloak with which I could hide my appearance, Martha and I set off. We left the city and began not hiding. Oh, they are kind of hiding. Heading towards Libertad, leading us into a forest on the outskirts of town. Our trip was predominantly filled with silence, but after walking through the forest a while, I could bite my tongue no longer. Sir Martha? Just Martha is fine. Understood. Martha, then. Forgive me if this is a foolish question, but wouldn't we be better off travelling by the highway? The path here is harsh underfoot, in fact. There's hardly a path at all. What a foolish question. Martha shook her head and continued to walk without pause. Have you forgotten the position that you're in? You are being chased. Furthermore, we are on foot. Were we to take the highway, horse-mounted pursuers may follow rapidly from behind. We would be trapped and surrounded not by mere slaves, but, mere slavers? That's what they call slavers? My brain can't function that. But by hired assassins, professionally killers in the face of whom I could not ensure your survival. Sorry. I wish to avoid such needless and risky fight. That is why we are taking this path instead. Compared to the highway, the ground here is uneven. The rocks are covered with moss and the drop is steep. This path is impossible to traverse by horse and perilous by foot. I see. So it's dangerous, but it will buy us time. I understand. I breathed a sigh of relief as I looked around and confirmed our surroundings. Surely enough, the traits which made our path difficult to walk would ultimately work in our favour. If we could find our way through the forest, we would be in the clear, if only temporarily. Do not feel at ease just yet. Although we may have gotten a head start on our pursuers, slavers are not our only enemy here. Well, what do you mean? It's just us out here, right? Why? Martha shook her head. In a forest like this, there are bound to be monsters. You mean like wolves? Not actual, fantasy creatures? Ooh. Right? Moments after informing me of this fact, Martha held her arm out to her side and stopped walking. Okay, no, there's actually monsters. Appeared into the clearing up ahead and spotted 3 creatures similar in appearance to humans. There we go. Their heads were oddly shaped, and their limbs were similar in length to those of a child. In the dark of night, they could easily sneak in the city and pretend to be humans. No, they couldn't. What are those things? Goblins. Wow, you sound so cash. Goblins? That's what goblins look like? I've heard like these tales as a child, but this is the first time I've seen one of these creatures in the flesh. Surprisingly similar to children in appearance. No, they're not. Look at their faces. Are they not? But bar their skin colour and mishap heads, of course. Okay, yeah. Judging by the horns slung around the waist of one of the goblins, it would appear that they are scouts. I took a closer look at the goblins. As Martha mentioned, one of them was wearing a horn at its waist, presumably so it could alert its comrades if anything happened. Why would goblins be scouting around here? It's hard to say. Maybe they're keeping lookout for invaders. Maybe they're searching for a village to plunder. Either way, the only good goblin is the dead goblin. Signaling for me to stay put, Martha slowly walked towards the goblins. Just epic music. Creeping stealthily, Martha pulled out a throwing knife from behind her back and took aim. She carefully lined up her throw while inching closer. Even while concentrating on the target, Martha watched her feet making certain not to make a sound. Finally, in a single movement too quick for me to follow, the knife left Martha's hand. Hee! What the fuck? Hee-ya! After nailing the horn-carrying goblin with her first throw, Martha jumped out and took advantage of the other goblin's surprise. She quickly unsheathed her sword and stabbed one of the remaining goblins in the throat and rushed towards her final target. Yeah! Huh, pathetic. The final goblin drew the blade at its hip and began swinging wildly. Martha easily blocked the poor goblin's swordplay with her shield and then proceeded to whack the goblin in the head. Staggering from the impact, the goblin fell to the ground. Martha immediately seized the opportunity to draw a wide upward arc with her blade and swung down with tremendous force. Without an ounce of resistance, the goblin's skull was split in half. How the hell could you watch that without freaking out? After swinging her blade through the air a few times to remove the blood, Martha casually walked back over to my side. Amazing! You really are strong, Martha. Those goblins never stood a chance. Oh, please. Feeling a goblin or two is not... Felling a goblin or two is not an accomplishment worthy of praise. I would not dare call myself an adventurer if I could consider goblins to be worthy advisories. Be that as it may, Martha walked over to the goblins once more as something caught her eye. She picked up the blade of the horn-carrying goblin and inspected the hilt. A night crest. How pitiful, to be slain by mere goblins. Here. Martha handed me the knight's blade. This is yours now. Don't befall the same fate as its previous two owners. A blade? For me? But I've not trained in the art of swordsmanship. I wouldn't know the first thing about wielding a blade. It's easy. Swing, slice, stab. You'll figure it out. You make it sound so easy. The basics are, I'm not asking you to become a master swordsman. You know? Yes, but... just take the damned thing. You know what to do with it when the time comes. Oh, okay. I understand. Good. Now let us settle down for the night. This area will soon grow dark. We best stake our claim while we can still see. You want to make camp already? But it's only twilight. We can still go on. I could, but I'm not sure about you. You're already out of breath, and Libertad is still many leagues away. Besides, rest is a necessity, and we will fare better if we travel when we're well rested. Don't mind my tongue twist. I understand that, but shouldn't we try to cover as much ground as we can? What if more goblins come? Or the slavers catch up to us? Or... Oh, shut it! Just sit down and be quiet already. Martha suddenly raised her voice. Her expression grew fierce, and she turned to face me without any sign of her usual calm. Listen here, Ada. As long as I'm the one leading... Is it Ada or Ada? I'm gonna get her name confused. I'm gonna call her Ada, yeah. I get to make the decision. If you have a problem with that, then either take the lead or get lost. Got it? No, I didn't mean... I'm sorry. I backed away from Martha and I lowered my head. Seeing my pitiful expression, Martha sighed audibly and scratched her head. Look, I can only ensure your survival if you do as I say. I am an experienced adventurer. When I say we need to make camp or take a particular route, there's a damn good reason behind my decision. So if you want this journey to be as painless as possible, then do as I say. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. Martha sighed once more and brought her hands down to her hips. Alright then. Ada, eat something light and then go to sleep. You need to regain your strength. For tomorrow we begin our journey. Trek now. Trek anew. Very well. I'll make a fire then so we can... Don't. Sorry? The smoke will give away our location to our pursuers, and the light will attract monsters. Though it may make you feel uneasy, the darkness is our ally. Let us not race to cover of the night. Understood. Somewhat disheartened by my own uselessness, I did as Martha decreed, and grabbed some of the food from our supplies. After eating in silence for a short while, Martha and I ventured further into the woods in search for a proper place to rest. Once we located a suitable area in which to make camp, we settled down for the night, making ourselves comfortable on the soft grass and leaves beneath us. Content with our new camp, I sat down and resumed my meal. I knew that we wouldn't have much time to look for food while we were travelling, so I took the opportunity to fill my stomach and enjoy a break from physical activity. I felt somewhat disheartened that my break was going to take place surrounded by darkness and a creepy forest, but at the very least, I could finally sit down and eat without interruption. While nibbling on the apple in my hand, I gazed up at Martha. Unlike me, Martha didn't seem to be unnerved by our surroundings in the slightest. Eating quietly in the dark was not a problem for her, nor was camping out in the forest infested with monsters. But for me, this was not the case. Everything about our current situation frightened me, and the silence only fueled my unease. So after swallowing another mouthful, I gathered my courage and spoke at last. Martha, can I ask you something? What is it? I was just wondering, for how long have you been an adventurer? When did you start training? Was it difficult? Is it the kind of thing you need to devote your life to? Sheesh, what's with the barrage of questions all of a sudden? And what interest do you have in adventuring anyway? It's not like it glamorous as people make it out to be. That's not a problem. It's not that I'm particularly interested in doing it myself or anything. I was just thinking that maybe if I trained to be an adventurer, maybe I could become strong like you. Martha's eyes narrowed as I touched upon the reason for my questioning. No, forget I said anything. I was just making idle chatter. You didn't take my question seriously. I tried to laugh off the suddenly tense atmosphere and bring the brief attempt at conversation to an end. However, Martha continued to stare at me, unconvinced that I meant what I said. Ada, if it's strength you seek, then my experience as an adventurer will not aid you. I've become an adventurer since I was born. I killed my first monster before I could even speak. I have been honing my skills ever since. I have no secret training ritual to share with you. Only time and effort will see you become strong. I see. That is a shame. I suppose I'll not be able to become strong so easily after all. Of course not. Strength is something you build up over many years of tireless effort. You cannot suddenly decide to become an adventurer and hope to gain such power as a result. Yes, you're right. Please forgive my foolish question. I cast my eyes downwards, and as I hopes were quickly diminished. Or dashed. Whoops, diminished sounds better. Although I figured strength would not come to me so easily, I hoped that Martha would at least share with me a tactic I could use, or perhaps teach me basic swordplay. However, my question yielded no such result. Instead, all I earned was a lecture. For what reason do you wish to become strong anyway? Is it revenge that you seek? The power to slay the men who pursue you? Unexpectedly, Martha continued our conversation with an inquisitive tone, genuinely interested in what I had to say. In response, I shook my head and uttered weakly, I just wanted to be able to protect myself. Ada, wake up! Hey, Ada, can you hear me? Shh! Keep quiet and open your eyes. Awakened by Martha's soft shouting, I immediately opened my eyes and looked around. Though still half asleep, I quickly gained my bearings and thought back to what had happened before I fell asleep. What's wrong? What happened? You've been had. I did not anticipate this number of goblins. Goblins? My eyes darted back and forth. I couldn't see a thing in the pitch black darkness. If there were goblins watching us, I would have no way to tell if and when they would strike. Just keep calm. They haven't spotted us yet. Okay, yes. I'm calm. But where are they? I thought you already killed all of them. The goblins around here. Hardly. All I did was slay a few scouts. With the scouts not reporting in, the main force has now shown up to look for them. The main force? That sounds bad. It is indeed. Usually goblins travel in groups of a few dozen or less, but right now, there's an entire horde of them out there. No, perhaps it would be more accurate to call them an army. Do you see them? Martha pointed towards the army of goblins. Although I couldn't make them out clearly, I could still see the occasional flicker of the moonlight off their spears and shields. I think so. I do see something moving. Oh wait, I can also see a bigger goblin. They're hobgoblins. Sorry. They're hobgoblins. They're bigger, stronger, and in this case more heavily armoured. Well, what do we do? Are you going to fight them all by yourself? Impossible. They have the advantage in number, weapons, armour, and they know the lay of the land. Not to mention that goblins have excellent night vision. You have to make a run for it. They haven't spotted us yet, so we can still make it out of here without a fight. Can you run? Of course. Alright, follow my lead and do as I say. Don't think and don't look back. Just keep on running until your legs give out. If we're surrounded, we're dead. If you fall, you're dead. Our only chance is to keep running until we're in the clear. Do you understand? Yes. Alright then, let's go. Martha and I began to run through the forest. Moments after we started to flee, I could hear the goblins talking to one another in their peculiar language. Following mere seconds of chatter, dozens of goblins broke off from the horde and began to pursue us, quickly closing the distance as our inability to see slowed Martha and I down. Damn it, these bastards are faster than they look. Ada, keep running. Straight ahead, don't stop, no matter what. What about you? I'll be fine, just run. Though hesitant to leave Martha behind, I continued to run without stopping. Behind me, Martha quickly turned around and took on the first batch of goblins without batting an eye. Bring it on, you ugly sons of a bitches! Martha brandished her sword and cleaved straight through the pack leaders, one after another. She cut down half a dozen goblins with ease, and the moment they stopped to a group, she began to run once more. Before long, Martha had caught back up to me, with the goblins slowly catching up. Martha, are you alright? I'm fine. These little punks aren't as tough as they think. The heavily armoured ones might be problematic, but they're also much lower. As long as we keep running, I should be able to pick off the front runners. Alright, I'll leave it to you. All according to plan, Martha continued to slaughter the faster runners the moment they began closing in. By picking a few off here and there, she was able to thin their numbers and more importantly kill off the goblins most likely to catch up. Despite the amount of running back and forth, not to mention the act of slaying the goblins, Martha was able to keep up magnificently. Have you seen how fit she fucking is? With her blade shining bright in the moonlight, Martha dyed the trees red with the blood of goblins, tirelessly slaughtering any who dared cross our path. Unfortunately, despite our best efforts, Martha was horribly outnumbered. For every goblin she slew, 2 more took its place, full of energy and ready to fight. Shaving down their numbers was not a sustainable plan in the end. All we could do was one.